Carp is not just a big fish. It is a real test of patience, knowledge, and character. And the most interesting thing is that in different seasons, it behaves as if it were completely different species of fish. I have been fishing for carp in the USA for many years, and every time it surprises me. This fish can be incredibly cautious in spring, aggressive in summer, lazy in autumn, and almost invisible in winter. That is exactly why carp fishing never becomes boring. Every season is a new strategy and a new lesson. Few people know this, but carp in America can live over 40 years and grow to a weight of more than 40 kilograms. This makes it one of the strongest freshwater opponents. When such a giant takes the bait, you feel it not only with your hands, but with your whole body. It is for these moments that I return to the water again and again. In the USA, there are several main types of carp, and each has its own characteristics. The most common is the common carp, or common carp. It is a classic fighter, hardy, smart, and highly adaptable. You can find it in almost any state from California to New York. The advantage of common carp is its accessibility. You don't need to travel to remote places. It's enough to find a lake, river, or reservoir. The downside is that this carp learns quickly. If the water is popular, the fish becomes extremely cautious and will ignore standard baits. Another interesting species is the mirror carp, or mirror carp. It is less common, but is considered a true trophy. It is easy to recognize by its large, irregular scales. For me, catching a mirror carp is always an event. The plus of mirror carp is that it is often larger than common carp. The minus is that it is harder to find and even more suspicious. This kind of carp does not forgive noise, sudden movements, or incorrect rig setups. There is also the grass carp, or grass carp, which formally also belongs to the carp family. In America, it is often protected by law, and fishing for it is not allowed everywhere. This is important to know to avoid problems, but even watching it in the water is a real pleasure. Grass carp feeds mainly on plants, and this is its main characteristic. It is strong, fast, and capable of making incredible runs. The downside for anglers is the difficulty of choosing the right bait and following all the regulations. Now let's move on to the seasons, because this is where the real magic begins. Spring is a time of hope and disappointment at the same time. Carp wakes up after winter but is not yet ready to feed actively. The water is cold, and every bite is the result of patience. In spring, I always reduce the amount of ground bait. Carp eats little and too much food makes it suspicious. It's better to use aromatic but light baits. At this time, carp often stays in shallow water where the water warms up faster. Summer is my favorite season for carp fishing in America. The water is warm, the fish is active, and bites can be very aggressive. It was in summer that I caught my biggest carp. But that doesn't mean everything is easy. In summer, carp becomes picky. Today, it may take corn, and tomorrow it will completely ignore it. The advantage of summer is a wide range of tactical options. The downside is heat, mosquitoes, and crowded waters. Autumn is the season of big hopes and big fish. Carp feeds actively, preparing for winter. Its appetite increases and it becomes less cautious. For me, autumn is the best time for trophy specimens. In autumn, I increase the nutritional value of the ground bait. Carp is looking for calories, and this can be used to your advantage. But the downside of autumn is unstable weather. Sharp temperature changes can completely shut down the bite. Winter is the most difficult season for carp fishing in the USA. In many states, the water becomes very cold and carp barely moves. However, it does not go into full hibernation. Sometimes a single bite can become the event of the entire day. Winter fishing teaches discipline, minimal movement, light tackle, and very delicate bait presentation. The plus of winter is absolute silence on the waters. The minus is cold and extremely low fish activity. I also want to say a few words about tackle, because carp in America is often bigger and stronger than it seems. Light rods may simply not withstand it. I always choose tackle with a margin of strength. This gives confidence during the fight. Carp is a fish that teaches respect. It punishes overconfidence and rewards patience. Every lost trophy is a lesson that stays with you for a long time, and every victory feels earned. For beginners, carp fishing is an ideal start. It is accessible, does not require expensive boats, and offers a chance at big fish. But for experienced anglers, it is an endless field for experimentation. There's always something to improve. In America, carp is gradually ceasing to be an undesirable fish. More and more people are discovering the sport side of this fishing. Catch and release is becoming the norm, and this is changing fishing culture. I love carp for its character. It does not give up easily and does not forgive mistakes. It is an honest fight where not always the strongest wins, but the most patient. That is why I keep coming back to it. Each season reveals carp from a new side. Spring teaches waiting, summer teaches adaptation, autumn teaches risk, and winter teaches thinking. And that is the beauty of it. This is fishing that grows together with you. When I stand on the shore of an American lake with a rod in my hands, I know carp is somewhere nearby. Maybe it won't bite today, but the process itself is already worth it, and that is exactly what I want to share with everyone who watches my videos. Carp fishing is not just about fish. It is about time, silence, and inner calm, about struggle and respect for nature. And if you have not yet fished for carp in different seasons, know this: a great adventure awaits you. And finally, I will say one thing. It doesn't matter whether you are a beginner or a hardcore angler, carp will always find a way to surprise you. That is exactly why it remains one of the most interesting fish to catch in America.